Today is Monday, March 17th. Today is day one of the new training block. In the last video, which was the final video that I posted in the winter 2025 training block, I talked a little bit about what happened in the previous training block. Initially, I was going to try to have a peak race kind of in peak half marathon in early May, the Toronto half marathon, but because of some knee issues, I decided to take about a week and a half off and just kind of reset everything. And now with that being said, I'm restarting the training block. Today is day one of 75, or it will be an 11-week training block, and it's going to be for the Barrie half marathon on June 1st. The goal for that one's still going to be the same. It's going to be to run 1 hour 15 minutes. My current PB in the half marathon is 1 hour 18 minutes, which I ran last May for the Toronto half marathon. I'm still going to run it this year. It's just going to be more of like a training run. I'll go into the race on the day just kind of, maybe looking for more of a tempo effort. We'll see how it goes. I'm one to say I'll go light, but I'll probably end up going for a PB and then blowing up or something. But we'll see how the day goes. I also then still have the 10K on May 12th. The goal for that will still be sub 35 minutes, and then I also have a 5K on April something. I forget the exact day. It's one of the early first weekends of April. I'm not entirely sure. When it's not an A-goal race, I'm just like not fully focused on it. But yeah, so this is going to be episode 1 of the new series, which will be called Barrie 115. It's going to be clean, simple. The goal is to run 115. It's going to be an 11-week training block, like I said. And yeah, that's what this series is going to be. Today was an easy 8 miles. And with that being said, with 8 miles, what I'm going to do differently for this training block, which I've never done, is I'm going to try to train in miles. I've never done it. It's something very new to me. I'm Canadian, so I run in kilometers. Back when I was younger and I didn't have a watch, I did used to run in miles, but I didn't have a watch, so I didn't really know what I was doing. Like I would use Google Pedometer to map out like a 3-mile loop, which I knew was like roughly 5K. And that was pretty much all I did. So like I did kind of run in miles, but not really. And then back in the summer of 2020, when I kind of started getting more into running, I got my Apple Watch. And to be honest, I would have used miles, but I didn't know right away how to switch it to kilometers, and I never really looked into it that much, to be honest, but I didn't know how, so I just left it in kilometers instead of switching it to miles. And after a few weeks, I just kind of got comfortable running in kilometers and figured, well, I'm in Canada, so I might as well run in kilometers. But I've wanted to do this for a while, to be honest, like switch to miles. I've run like the occasional run in miles, like on the treadmill and stuff like that. So it will be kind of exciting for me to run in miles and kind of like document my experience on that. That's kind of what this whole week is going to be, is me just kind of learning that. I've done the previous 3 runs in miles, and so far feels pretty good, I guess. I'm trying my best not to look too much like at converting it to kilometers, because I really just want to like use this whole new, like everything new. Like it's funny because on my previous few runs here, I've done, like I said, I've done 3 in miles, and I have this perfect 2K loop that I do, and I think it was like 1.2 miles, and it's just like, it's funny how different it is. And I'm just really good at kind of the loops I do at just like knowing where like a 1 kilometer away will be, if that makes any sense. Like I just know where the kilometers are going to hit based on my runs, and it's kind of refreshing so far in these 3 runs to just not know at all and just be like completely blind on pace. I mean, I'm not totally blind. I do understand like roughly mile. Like I know 8 minutes a mile is about 5 minutes a kilometer, and I know that like 10 minutes a mile is like 6 minutes a kilometer. And then there's kind of a lot of variation in between. Like I know basics of it. I know low 4 minutes a kilometer is breaking into that 6-minute mile range, and once you get below 4 minutes a kilometer, you're entering the like 5 minutes a mile mark. So yeah, with that being said though, my goal will be to run 13.1 miles at 5:47 a kilometer, which will give me 1 hour 15 minutes high. And anyway, with that being said though, that's it. That's kind of the goal for this training block. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be a 9-mile run. It's going to be more of like an up tempo. We'll kind of see how I'm feeling. I think I'm going to do like 1 mile repeats with kind of like a mile break in between. I just really want to start to feel out what that distance kind of feels like, because I'm so used to kilometers, and maybe it doesn't make sense to change to kilometer, or to change from kilometers to miles. To be honest, it probably doesn't make sense, but I just want to try something new. I think I'm already feeling like more refreshed in the sense that I feel kind of like so new to doing this. Like I said, I do have a rough idea of like miles to kilometers, but not as much as I thought I did. I'm learning over the previous kind of few days here. So yeah, with that though, it's kind of exciting. We'll see how this week kind of plays out, and yeah.
just about to start the first mile of this 9-mile workout. It's only 3 by a mile with 1 mile recovery, 2 mile warm up, and 2 mile cool down. But to start the first mile here. Being that I'm wearing a backpack and this is a super hilly course, I'm not gonna go super fast. I'm really just trying to feel out what a mile feels like. And yeah, I know I say a lot, but I'm not gonna go too hard. Just whatever pace it happens to be is what I'm going with currently. About 6:20 a mile. So yeah, I'm just trying to feel out kind of what the distance feels like, because I normally run in kilometers, and just kind of what pacing feels like. Because yeah, I'm trying to do this training block in miles, see how it feels. 6:14 a mile right now, and I'm talking pretty comfortably, so that's good. I'm not gonna go too much faster though. Getting to the uphill part now though, so I'm gonna slow down. All right, first mile, 6:24. Pretty happy with that. Actually, a lot of that was uphill. I obviously have a backpack on and I'm not wearing super shoes, so really I was just hoping to be like below 7 minutes a mile pace. But yeah, this is like kind of my first workout in miles, so kind of see how it goes. Like, I've been running in kilometers for 5 years, so yeah, it's just kind of fun to try something new. I knew roughly for this workout, for the 1 mile repeats, I just wanted to be below like 7 minutes a mile, really, somewhere around there. The goal half marathon for this training block is 5:47 a mile, but right now kind of low 6s doesn't feel too bad. And I have a pretty heavy backpack, so pretty happy with that. Just gonna enjoy this 1 mile recovery now, and then 2 more reps to go. Just about to start the second mile, again, mostly uphill. But man, today's kind of hot. It says 12, but it feels warmer than that. It's about to start now. Mostly gonna be uphill again, so that's fun. All right, let's go. $6.13 a mile right now, but that is definitely gonna slow down because I'm about to go up a pretty steep hill for the last bit of it. $6.38 for that one, but I'll take it, man. That was up a pretty steep hill, and I'm not going all out here. I'm just trying to, you know, go like a tempo effort here, comfortably hard. But yeah, like I was saying before, back around the busy park, because it's a nice day out, so it's really busy, and I'm still pretty new to like vlogging while running, so when there's a lot of people, I definitely get a little bit uncomfortable, but doing my best here. But yeah, I just want to feel out a mile, you know, really start to learn what paces feel like and kind of how to adjust to a pace. Like when I was running in kilometers, you know, I knew what 3:40 a kilometer felt like really well. And I mean, I know that's gonna feel like about 5:40 a mile, but yeah, I just kind of want to experience that myself. I think one thing I'm liking so far is just being notified less. Like I'm gonna do 9 miles today, which would normally be like, I guess about 14-15K, but it's kind of nice to only be notified, you know, by the watch 9 times instead of 14. But I don't know, we'll see how I like this as the training block progresses. Maybe it's not the smartest idea, but it seems like kind of a fun one to me, so I'm gonna go with it. All right, 7:59 recovery mile. Let's go for the last hard mile. .6:21 last mile. It was the fastest, but to be fair, it also was the only one that wasn't uphill. But just a 2 mile cool down, and then that will be 9 miles on the day, which is pretty good, you know. Pretty happy with this. I wasn't sure how I was gonna go, you know. I just worked a 9-hour shift in the kitchen, so my legs are pretty tired, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, you know. I also have a pretty heavy backpack on. It's an uphill course, and you know, yeah, I'm trying to, you know, just kind of get comfortable with miles here. I also forgot to say the watch is Coros Pace Pro, and the shoes, Hoka Mach 5. One of my favorite shoes, if not my favorite shoe of all time. Let me just finish this nice little 2 mile cool down. Workout's pretty much done. I'm just gonna do like 3 or 4 30-second strides here. All right, there's one. I don't know what exactly pace got down to, but I think I saw like 5:10 or something like that. But I know the watches aren't great for like random bursts of speed like that. But yeah, I'm gonna do 2 more and then maybe 3 more, we'll see. I'm 8.4 miles in, so I'm basically done. And that'll be it for this workout. Pretty happy with today though. Nine miles, 7:14 a mile. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this workout. Went really well, honestly. Really happy with that. Today is Thursday, March 20th. It's my long run today. I have 14 miles at probably a more like easy pace. I'll slowly speed up as the run goes on. We'll see. Pretty nice morning out there. Hopefully the GoPro captures it, but my water bottle, so filming's gonna be kind of hard. The priority for some of these runs is not going to be filming, obviously. When it's like an easy run, I'll take the, you know, tripod or selfie stick and try to get better shots. But for some of these runs like today, my goal is to just like zone out and actually have the run go pretty well. Not that the pace is anything crazy, but I just really want to dial in, focus in on getting these 14 miles complete and not record too much. Plus I have the water bottle, which really does make it hard to film because I only have one hand. It's also another beautiful day. I think it said it was 10 degrees Celsius, and I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, which might have been a mistake because it's really nice out, honestly. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But shoes today, on Cloud Eclipse, watch, Coros Pace Pro, water bottle, just like a Nathan water bottle that honestly works pretty well. I have a gel. Well, it's not really a gel, it's one of my kids' go-go squeezes again. That's all I had, and I figure it's better than nothing. So yeah, but as of now, just gonna zone out, go like a steady, easy-ish pace, about 7:30 a mile right now. Feel us out for 14 miles. I'll check in every so often, but yeah, nice beautiful morning here. Oh, it's a rainbow. I don't know, hopefully the GoPro captures that a little bit. It's actually a double rainbow. It's like lightly raining, so it's just so nice that it's actually spring. Today's the first official day, so that's nice. Anyway, it's 1 mile, 7:54 a mile. Yeah, 13 more to go. I'm about 6.6 miles in right now. I think I'm gonna take the gel close enough to halfway. Usually I like to take it a little bit before halfway, just to give me a little bit more energy. I don't know how I'm gonna do that while holding my water bottle and the camera, but I'm gonna do my best here. It's got one of those naked bands. It's so good. It's genuinely amazing right now. Like, the GoPro's in it, my phone's in it, my keys are in it. This gel, not really a gel, the kids go squeeze is in it, and they're pretty heavy and I don't even feel it, so this thing is really nice. It's hard to get on, but once it's on, it's really good. Anyway, let me take this here. This one's apple banana flavored. It's honestly really good, but they're really liquidy, so it's kind of hard to, like, I guess treat them like a gel or more of like a liquid. That's done. Maybe it'll give me some energy here. Sometimes they don't, sometimes they make me feel sick, but to be fair, so do running gels, so we'll see how that sits now, but yeah, feeling pretty good. Almost at 7 miles, just holding about a 7:40 mile pace. Feeling good, feeling controlled. That's the goal for this run, just complete the 14 miles feeling good. There's 10 miles in about 1 hour, 17 minutes. It's actually starting to get a little bit cold, and it's really starting to rain now. I'm still gonna do 14 miles, but at around 13 miles, I'm going to start doing some strides. Probably, I don't know, maybe 6 like 30-second strides, somewhere around the 13 mile mark, and then finish it off. But yeah, it's getting cold now. It's really starting to rain and get windy, so I just want to finish this off here, get home to the warmth. There is 13.2 miles. I think I'm gonna do like 5 30-second strides, and then yeah, call it for this long run. But so far feeling pretty good. Let's get these strides going. All right, there it is. 14 miles, 7:39 a mile. I did 6 strides at the end there, 6 30-second strides. But yeah, man, honestly, that felt pretty good. I'm definitely benefiting off the week and a half break. It's cold and windy. I'm gonna get inside, have some coffee, have some breakfast. But yeah, so far, first long run in miles, it went well. But man, it started off so warm. It's freezing now.
Today is Friday, March 21st. It's a little bit colder out here than I thought it was going to be. I'm out here right now in a t-shirt, so that's okay. I'm just a little bit cold, but what I want to do here, I guess, is kind of talk a little bit about how the week's been going and just kind of summarize how everything's been feeling. It's been pretty good, actually. The knee pain that I've been getting off and on for the past month has been still there a little bit, but nothing too crazy. A little bit yesterday in the long run, I was feeling it, especially at night a little bit, but I was icing it and just kind of stretching it out. And right now it feels pretty good. I got another good night of sleep last night, and that's really been my priority over the last, I guess, week or so, is like really like focusing on like minimum 7 hours, but when I can, going up to 8, which is what I've done the past few nights. And it's like, everybody says it, but it really is like such a game changer when you like truly get 8 hours of sleep. So that's what I've been doing. The goal for today, this afternoon, is just going to be 3 miles, maybe a little bit more, 3 or 4 miles roughly, just like really, really easy, because tomorrow I have maybe a 10-mile workout. It's going to be like 9 or 10. That's kind of what I'm contemplating on right now, is I'm not fully sure exactly what that's going to be, but I'm really kind of getting in the headspace of really wanting to start dialing in and actually doing some speed workouts, because it's been quite a while since I've really been doing that. And I am still early in the training block here. But I really just kind of miss doing some, some good old-fashioned speed workouts. I'm going to go to the track, I think, tomorrow, and do some 800s, 400s, 200s, something like that. Not fully sure exactly what I'm going to do, but just roughly about 9 or 10 miles total volume with just like some track right in the middle there. And yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I think I'm going to wear the Nike Tempos. Pretty old shoe, I guess. It's like 5 years old now. I've just had it kind of, I don't use it very often, but I don't know why, because I really like it. And I think it only has like about 100 miles on it, or 160 kilometers. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use those tomorrow. I guess I'll also use this time now to really briefly talk a little bit about my feelings on switching from kilometers to miles just for this training block. I'm not sure if it's gonna be permanent or what, but yeah, so far I'm okay with it. It's nothing crazy. I don't want to say one is better than the other, because I think that many people might say kilometers are better, but I do believe that there's some advantages to miles. One thing that I'm learning as a distance runner, it's kind of nice to run in miles because you're just getting notified less often, which is kind of nice. And one thing I like is that because a mile is obviously further than a kilometer, when you slightly change your pace, like you go a little bit faster or a little bit slower, when running in kilometers, it won't adjust that much, right? Like you're going 440 a kilometer and you feel like you adjust your pace quite a bit, and it only changes to like 435 a kilometer. But when you're running in miles and you're going 750 a mile and you feel like you just slightly adjust your pace a little bit, you shoot down to like 730 a mile. I know it's not that big of a deal, but it does feel kind of nice in the sense it feels like you're doing a little bit more work, in the sense during a mile, it feels like you can really adjust pace quite a bit. I know the outcome is going to be the same, but it just feels nice in that you feel like you almost have a little bit more fine control within those seconds. A kilometer is obviously so short that you're not going to get that. But overall, I think kilometers have an advantage in that it's just really clean. Like running in kilometers for my brain is especially really easy, because especially when you can visualize it like I do with a track, where, running 800 meters is 2 laps around a track, and same with 0.8 kilometers is obviously 800 meters. And it's just kind of nice and clean in that sense. And I do think that shorter distances, like running a 5K or below, maybe even a 10K or below, running in kilometers might be a little bit better, just because you want to get that constant notification. But anything above that, I am kind of like running. I do kind of like running in miles in that fewer notifications. Really, I'm just doing it because I want to just like mix it up a little bit. I've been running in kilometers for, I guess, since I started, for 5 years now. Or since I really started getting into running with a watch. I guess I was running a little bit before that, but nothing too crazy. And I was calculating the runs before that in miles, but just on Google Pedometer. So I'd understand like a little bit about miles, but nothing too crazy. I really I enjoy kind of challenging myself in new ways, especially challenging the mind. Like I don't fully know like what a mile feels like to run, so I just kind of want to learn that. And I'm trying hard not to do too much converting, but obviously I'm going to a little bit. Like my mind is always telling me, 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. But I'm trying not to do that too much, as I still might be doing it. But yeah, so far it's fun, and we'll see how it goes for this training block. I like the idea of being able to understand both like really, really well, because you always hear, people talking miles and then people talking kilometers. And if you stick with one so much, like I've done with kilometers so much, sometimes you kind of get a little bit confused on what the miles are. And I like the idea of being able to really understand both. And maybe in the future, after kind of learning miles for this training block, I'll maybe kind of find like a hybrid method where you're kind of just going back and forth depending on the day, depending on what you're feeling. Because I still believe, like tomorrow, for example, I'm going to the track, and it would make more sense to be running in kilometers on a track, because obviously, 1,000 meters is 1 kilometer, or whatever that might be. Like a track makes perfect sense to be running in kilometers. So for stuff like that, for example, I think it might be a little bit more of an advantage. But for now, I'm sticking with miles. I'm doing it for this whole training block and all these races coming up. I'm going to do it all in miles, see how I feel. But I think inevitably the future will be kind of some sort of hybrid method, kind of going like, back and forth, maybe having Strava set in kilometers and Coro set in miles. And you can just kind of like, go back and forth from there to truly understand both. Because, yeah, I feel like it's important to like understand both. Anyway, that's how it's going so far. It's going pretty well. But yeah, with all that being said, that's today. We'll see how it goes tonight. I have a nice easy 3 mile, and yeah, we'll go from there for tomorrow's bigger workout.
Today's workout is 10 miles with a bunch of speed. kind of in the middle here. I don't even know there's like 1Ks, 800s, 400s. There's a bunch of stuff, but I'm not going to record too much of it because I'm really going to dial in and focus. Plus it's really windy, so I don't know how well the audio would be. But yeah, I just really want to get this workout done. I have the GoPro just to basically get 1 or 2 shots and show I'm wearing the Nike Tempos for the first time in probably a year. Watch as the Core Space 3 track edition. And yeah, I just want to dial in here, get this workout done. I'm not going to record too much of it. I'll put all the stuff on the screen and I will talk about it when it's done. It is absolutely freezing and really windy today. I don't know how it can go from like 18 to like well below 0 in just like a day. It's classic March weather in Toronto.
So it's now Sunday morning, the day after the workout last night. Right away, I'll say I think it was probably a little bit too much for me to do initially. I felt like I hadn't been doing like a lot of speed workouts, so I was like, okay, like I want to do like a big 10-mile workout. And yeah, today I'm feeling it. I feel like it might have been a little bit too much. Some old mild niggles that I was getting in the back of the quad have come back a little bit. I'm not super concerned. I was going to take it easy for the next 2 days, maybe 3 days, and hopefully all that will clear up. But yeah, the workout now that I'm able to process everything was 2-mile warm up. It was then 2 by 1K, 3 by 800, 4 by 400, 6 by 200, and then 8 by 100 with a 3-mile cool down. So it was like 10. It was 10 miles total. And yeah, even as I was doing it, I was like, yeah, this is like really, this feels maybe a little bit too big. But the 200s and the 100s went pretty good. Like I'm pretty happy with them because they were mostly just like strides. I think was the most important thing about that workout was just getting like the legs really turning over. The 1Ks and the 800s being that they were so similar in like distance, it was about the same. And I wasn't super happy with them. I was hitting around the pace that I wanted for the half marathon. I think the mile, as I was kind of checking it off, was about like 5:40 to 5:45, like a mile was the pace that I was averaging for that distance. But yeah, it was a big workout. I didn't want to like document too much of it because I really just wanted to dial in and focus. It was also really cold and I was underdressed. It said -1, but then it also said it felt like -12. And yeah, it definitely did. It was windy out there. It was cold, as it is a little bit this morning as well, as you can see with my breath. Yeah, Toronto in March is crazy. The weather will go up and down so much, and like, you know, one day it can be literally 18 and sunny, and then just like a few hours later, it will drop to like -5 and cloudy, like just so quickly out of nowhere. March is always like this. But yeah, with that being said, today's workout is just going to be, I think I'm going to do 4 miles this evening to end out the week at, I think it will be about 48 miles. Next week, I'm then going to go maybe like 56, 57 miles. The week after that, I'll go maybe 65, 66 miles. And then I think for this training block, I'm going to do my best to peak at about 70 miles and hold that for, I think it will be about 5 weeks. That's the goal anyway. Yeah, but what I'm going to do this or the next week is probably like just maybe focus more on like some more tempo work instead of like some, you know, raw speed there. I'll definitely do some strides and stuff as well. But I think this week I'm just going to focus, or next week I'm going to focus more on volume as opposed to speed. I got to trust the process a little bit more, except that, you know, maybe doing a big 10-mile workout like that was a bit too much. I feel okay, actually. Funny, the knee feels fine. That's what's been bugging me for the past like month, and it feels fine. But yeah, the back of the left quad now, I was having some tendon issues there like over the summer and into the fall, and I was feeling good, but now this morning, it's not feeling 100%. We'll see how it goes over the next few days. I know this is normal. This is just like marathon or half marathon training. There's always going to be little things that you just have to learn to work with and push through. But yeah, this week overall went good. Like I'm pretty happy with it. It will be 48 miles after tonight's run, which I'll just put on the screen because I'm probably not going to talk about it because it's just a basic 4-miler. But yeah, running in miles is It's been interesting. You know, I'm not going to say that it's better or worse. It's like just a little bit different. I think, as I might have been saying earlier, what I like about running in miles is that the pace, you can variate the pace like a lot more refined in a mile. Like slight variations in pace will really change what the outcome is going to be. Whereas in kilometers, obviously that doesn't happen. I also like getting notified less, like every 1.6 kilometers, you know, is a mile. So getting notified a lot less is kind of nice. But yeah, sometimes, you know, for a workout like yesterday, where you're doing like 1K repeats, 800-meter repeats, having the watch set to kilometers would be definitely more beneficial. I knew it was a 600-meter loop I was doing. I didn't go to the track last night because it was really windy, and I did a 600-meter loop where there's like a lot more houses and it's like fairly flat, and it did help with the wind a little bit. Overall, it's been a unique experience to run in miles. We'll see how I like it over the next few weeks. I'm committing to it for this training block no matter what. I'm going to run miles, run all my races in miles. We'll see how I feel at the end of the training block if I want to go back to kilometers, but I think I'm going to do more of like a hybrid method. We'll see. I really do like understanding miles, and now I feel like I'm starting to really understand it a lot more, which I do like. Yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a crazy week. I got out the Nike Tempos for the first time in years, which is kind of exciting. Actually, last night the run went really well in them, so I'm going to actually like reintroduce them into the rotation pretty heavily. I think I'm going to use them as more of like a tempo shoe slash like track speed shoe option in this training block. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That summarizes this week. I don't want to ramble on too much here. I know I'm really good at that. 48 miles. Next week will be, you know, progressing by probably about roughly 9 miles a week up until I hit my hopefully goal around 70. You know, it might not be perfectly around there depending on the weeks, because I feel like if I set too much of a number, you never end up hitting it anyway. Every week will change based on how I'm feeling. Like this week, I feel like because of this particular workout, I was, you know, I'm feeling a little bit sore. So I'll probably just focus more on volume this week as opposed to, you know, a big workout or something like that. But we'll see. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe, check out my channel, follow this journey as it plays out. And thank you for watching.